as a coach, setting teams up to fail as a learning thing? How do you look at it as a coach yourself?
Yeah, I reckon it's a bit of a catch cry these days, isn't it? Like we don't lose, we learn. But that is one of the more true sayings in coaching that I've come across lately. You try not to dwell on the losing part of it. And again, when I was a younger coach, and I reckon a mistake a lot of young coaches make is you look for blame when you lose a game, whether it's blaming the ref, blaming the weather, blaming your players, because they didn't, so-and-so wasn't at training on one of these days, so it's his fault. Like, you can't, there's no use looking backwards with blame. You've actually got to go, right, that's the result that we got. How do we fix it? And that's, I think if you start throwing the question to the group of how do we fix it, like this is what happened, so how do we fix it? If you start coming up with solutions straight away, then the loss is forgotten a lot quicker, because all they start thinking about is solutions. Like with Sydney Uni this year, they were particularly very, very good at it. They did a bit of work with some commandos. This is before my time there, but it was a habit and a learning that they took from this work with them. And they literally got into the change rooms after a win, lose or draw. In the change rooms, backs and forwards split, and they say, right, who's got the phone, who's taking the notes, and then they start just throwing information out.
After a game?
After a game. Before singing the team song, before beers, before anything. They sit down, and because it's also so fresh in their mind, it's really good. They throw stuff out. And what that leads to, it doesn't lead to a blame game and finger pointing. It leads to, okay, this happened. Oh, okay, how can it be better? Yeah, I reckon this week at training, we've got to make sure we do this and this to make sure we don't do that again. Okay, good. Next point. So that's
really interesting. So even after a win, you'd do that?
Oh, yeah, especially after a win. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I've never said. So had you seen that before?
No. Like I said, it's something that they got out of some work they did with these commandos who were fantastic. They started off as I think that the main aim of the involvement was to educate their leaders and develop their leaders. But obviously they worked as a group really well, and the leaders also developed quite well out of it.